Good morning, I'm Jim Spencer and welcome to the Small Business Success Center here in Bluefield, West Virginia. Today's class is a refresher on Canva, and if you've been around any of our classes on Canva before, you know that that's one of my favorite little softwares that are free. Faith and Savannah do an excellent job in explaining and getting into the details and actually using it themselves, but it's easy enough that even I can use it, and I've used it on some projects I've done, even at the Makerspace with the Glowforge and things like that. So it's a great program that I think that you can use to help grow your business and using your day-to-day activities with marketing and other things like that. Do want to remind you, October the 5th, we've got a class with the Small Business Success Center here with Harold Pattison. He is a business coach with the Small Business Development Center. And from 11 to 1, we're going to do going into business first steps. We're going to add some things to the program. We're going to talk about key components to being a successful entrepreneur. We're also going to have Region 1 Planning Development Council here to talk about their microloan program. You can have a great business plan and an idea, but you've got to have capital to implement. So we're going to add some things to that. So that information will be on our website and it's available to sign up. Again, it's October the 5th. And if you have any questions, please let us know. And don't forget to take the survey at the end. Thank you, Faith and Savannah. I'll turn it over to them.
All right. Well, good morning to everyone joining us via Zoom. We apologize for not being able to have this in person. We miss seeing all of your all's faces and getting to interact with you guys. So hopefully we can get together here at the Small Business Success Center very soon. Before we get started, I just want to mention that, like Jim said, coming on October 5th, we have our next upcoming class. Just keep in mind, we host these workshops bi-weekly. So keep an eye out on our social media, on our workshops page on our website for anything new up and coming. It'll all be posted there. They are always free and they are open to anyone, even if you know someone who isn't a small business owner or a business owner at all. It's just really great to be informed and learn and get educated, and even for those who might want to open a business in the future. So we are dedicated to you and your success. All right, so before we jump in, I do want to say that we did classes on Canva 101 and we did a Canva 102, and these classes are both on our YouTube page. And you can find that by just going to YouTube, and you can also go to our workshops page on our website. It'll have the YouTube link there as well. We did more of a deep dive. Today, we're just going to go kind of over the basics, show you what it looks like, show you what you can do, and maybe do a couple examples. For those online, which everyone is online today, please get active in the chat box. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if there's something specific that you want to see, or a specific question, throw it in there and we will jump to it, even if it's in the middle of me talking about this stuff. So Canva is so important, and we love using Canva here because it is such a great, like Jim said, free marketing tool that you can use to create your own marketing materials. It is great for small business, large business, a startup, entrepreneur, anyone really. It's so great. So first off, why Canva? Number one, it's free and it's so easy to use. And it does have a free version, but it does have options to update. We use the Pro version. And this just gives you a little bit more access to templates and different elements, but the free version, we use the free version for a very long time, and that will get you where you need to be. So next, there are tons and tons of ready to use templates and photos. I cannot get over hopping into Canva every week and seeing just the massive amount of templates that they've added just within a week's time. So if you're worried about, you say, well, Faith, I'm not a graphic designer. I have no background skill in putting stuff together. No worries. Canva has you covered. They're ready to go. The editor is super simple. You can edit these templates to be more you. So it's just super great to use. Excuse me, there's a fly. All right. So another biggie is it allows you to make your own marketing materials that look professional. So it beats using stock photos and stealing graphics from, Google or other businesses. We've seen so many people just pull stuff off of the internet, whether it's like a closing for the day graphic or whatever. Canva just gives you a little bit more, it allows you to create stuff that's more you and more unique to your business. So you're not just copying, another business owner. You're being unique. You're making your own materials. And Canva also, it allows you to streamline your process of creating materials because number one, like I said, it has those templates. It has those ready to go used features that you can drag and drop and go. And it also has a content planner where you can, once you're done with creating an Instagram post or you're done with creating a Facebook post, you can actually connect your Instagram and your Facebook. Hello to everyone that is just joining, by the way, happy to have you. Anyway, so you can connect your Instagram and your Facebook account to Canva, and it streamlines the process. You can just post as soon as you get done creating something inside of Canva, or you can even schedule posts. So it's super, super a great tool to use for that as well. All right. Carrying on. So you might be asking, what are some things that I can make in Canva for my business? So the two main categories are print and web. So for print, you can make, so many different things, even more than what we added on this list. But you have menus, if you're a diner or a restaurant, greeting cards, flyers, business cards, certificates, labels. If you're a shop and you want to make your own label to tag onto things, you can make it in Canva. So easy. Calendars, programs, coupons, rack cards, letterheads, envelopes, so many different print options. I think the biggest print that we do are flyers a lot of the time. We haven't done business cards, but I've seen a lot of people do business cards, design business cards in Canva. And it's just so easy, so many templates. As far as web goes, social media posts are probably the biggest that we use. We also use it to design some of our website blog covers. So if you have a blog on your website, logos, Facebook event covers, you can use it to make important announcements like holidays or hour changes, etc. Presentations. Pretty much all of the presentations that you've seen come out of Savannah and I out of this department have been made in Canva. So if you're impressed with our presentations, it's not a whole bunch of magic. It's utilizing Canva. YouTube thumbnail, Zoom background, email marketing templates. There's just so much that is available. All right, so now I'm going to show you around. And like I said, if anyone has any questions at all, anything that you want me to specifically cover, just throw it in the chat box and I will get to it. Right now, though, I'm going to just show you around the basics of what a desktop view and what a mobile view looks like of Canva. And if you don't currently have a Canva account, it's super simple to sign up. You just go to canva.com and you just hit sign up and then you put in your info and then you are right here, you're ready to go. And like I said, you have the option to do the free account, which is super great, or you can do the paid account. So either way you go, you're going to be, really, it's going to be good either way. So first we have this desktop version. This is your home page on Canva on desktop. So as soon as you log in, you're going to see these tabs. This is kind of your menu tab on the side. You're going to have recommended for you, which the first thing that pops up is this recommended for you. And this is where you're going to see different template options. And pretty much they will pull up the most popular for you to start out. If you've already created designs in Canva, you'll see recent designs pop up. So your menu, super simple, super basic. This would be the tab that all your designs will go to. You have recent designs, you have shared with you, Another very cool feature about Canva is that you can actually develop teams on Canva. So say Savannah has a Canva account and I have my own Canva account, and we can actually collaborate on Canva and share designs, and we can co-work on these different things together. And we've done that so much. It's really one of our favorite things about Canva, because it allows you to collab and, you know, share and all that good stuff. You can also create a brand kit, and this tab is where you would go to find that. A brand kit, we have made one for beta, but we don't really use it very often, but it's a great tool. Say you have a pre-existing color scheme for your business or specific fonts you want to use, you can plug that into brand kit. And then that way, when you're going to make a social media post or a flyer, that stuff is at your fingertips. So it's just something to utilize. Here you'll have your content planner. This is where you'll be able to save designs to schedule till later on your social media feeds. So that is so helpful. You'll have folders, you know, if you want to make a folder for just Instagram posts or flyers or Facebook posts or website materials, you know, you can do that. That's available to you. And then, of course, trash. And this is where your teams will pop up. So we have, as you can see, a team for beta. So mobile view, it's pretty much the same, just smaller. This will be your home screen that pops up. You know, like the desktop, you will automatically see a lot of different templates. And I'm scrolling through those in the video. And if you scroll down, you'll see the most popular templates. And it's really funny because Canva will actually auto-populate seasonal things. So I actually made this video near Easter, as you can tell. So if it's close to Thanksgiving or close to Christmas, they'll automatically populate that stuff in there for you. Down here, we have a design tab. This is just where all your designs will be. And then menu. The menu is very straightforward, just like the desktop menu is. And your navigation will be down at the bottom, as you can see. You have a search bar up here where, you know, if you don't see a template that, you know, you want to use, you can search it up here and it will populate many different options for you. And then it will pull up templates that relate to what you searched. So it's very, very straightforward. It's very easy to use. And let's keep going. All right. So one of the things that we really, really wanted to point out to you all, specifically our small business owners, was that templates are your best friend. You know, if you don't have any background in design or, you know, design elements or development, this, you know, utilizing Canva's templates are going to be great for you. Savannah and I both have a background in design and we use templates all the time. So it just streamlines your process and it allows you to gain inspiration from, you know, these different already put together elements. So templates, they are super easy to customize. And first off, if you don't know what a template is, which I'm sure pretty much all of you do, it's just a basic post or flyer or, you know, whatever type of material you are wanting to create. They have already pre-put elements in there for you that are ready to go. So all you have to do is go in and edit it. We do recommend that you customize it. You put your logo in there, you maybe change the colors, you might take one thing out and add another. So, you know, we always encourage people to edit them just enough to be you, to be unique to you. So like I said, they're very easy to customize. Canva's drag and drop editor allows you to do this very, very simply. They have ready to go good design, like I mentioned. These templates are all made with good design in mind. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to brainstorm very hard on like, oh my gosh, what fonts and colors go together? You know, what are, you know, good design elements? You know, all that stuff is already there for you. And lastly, It helps ensure that you are abiding by the algorithm requirements. This might sound a little scary. We covered it in Instagram, our Instagram classes, but Instagram, Facebook, pretty much every social media outlet, they will show the posts that are the correct dimensions more than the ones that aren't. So if you have an Instagram post that is 1080 by 1080, you are good to go. If you have an Instagram post that's 200 pixels by 200, they might pull the one that's 1080 over the one that's, the smaller. So Canva has already, if you click Instagram post, if you click Facebook post, the dimensions are good to go. So you don't have to worry about that. So it's just something else that is small, but it's a very simple tool that you can utilize very easily. And I just took a screenshot of this. This is where you'll find your templates on the desktop view. And like I said, as soon as you get on desktop view or mobile view, you will see the templates pop up. But here is just, different lists that you can see. They have so many for social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube channel art, for marketing, posters, flyers, brochures, so many things that you can utilize as far as templates go. All right, so just really quick before we get into the fun stuff, because I'm going to jump in and actually show you guys the ropes a little bit. And before we do that, I want you all to each brainstorm, what is something that you would like to see me do inside of Canva? Would you like to see me do an example of an Instagram post or a flyer or a business card? If you have any question or any suggestion, then throw that in the chat box and Savannah will let me know. All right. So we're just going to go over some basic design do's and don'ts. I always like to talk about this because it's so important. If you don't have design background, it's not complicated, but I did want to just go over a few of these things with you guys. So some design do's that we recommend. Number one, use good quality photos of your products or services, or whatever photos you are choosing to use in your marketing materials. Make sure they are of good quality. We did a class several months ago, Savannah did, how to create good photos just using your smartphone. So, you don't have to go buy a fancy camera. You can snap it on your smartphone, but just make sure that they're good quality and they're capturing what you want to capture with, very, very good quality. Canva has an array of stock photos that you can use, but we recommend, and like I threw into the design don'ts, don't use stock images 100% of the time. Try to develop your own photos and your own materials to use in there. Also, another big one is use a font and a color scheme. If you are a boutique owner and your color scheme is pretty like neutrals or beiges, you don't have to stick with just beige for every single post. We're not saying to do that, but just try to stick to have those go-tos that you use. Number three, edit the templates just enough to be more you. I spoke about that a second ago. Take some elements out or put some elements in. Instead of using their stock photo, use your own photo, just things like that, simple things that you can do. Also, if you're using a darker background, be sure that you use a lighter text so that it'll show up. Also, if you use a lighter background, do the vice versa, use darker text to show up. Excuse me. Stick to using 1 to 2 font types, at most 3 per graphic. And, on our design don't side, don't go super text heavy. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, is getting on Instagram and seeing a post that is just complete full of text. And sometimes, if you have an event or you have something going on, you might, have a little bit more text. But what I like to recommend is, creating a graphic that is eye-catching and then letting the bulk of the info be in that caption. Let that caption tell the story and not the graphic itself. Also, just another tip, don't use fonts that do not go with your brand. An example of this would be if you're a boutique owner and you try to use like that bold Gothic font, that might not be the best option for you. So, fonts, as weird as it might sound, fonts have a feeling that are attached to them. So just try to look at them and be like, okay, does this really match my brand? Does this really match my business and my brand voice per se? Also, like I said, don't use stock images 100% of the time. Avoid over editing images, like using heavy filters. Canva does have some photo filters that you can use, but just don't go filter crazy with them, keep it simple. And if you're not comfortable with creating things from scratch, like I said, utilize those templates. They are so, so, so helpful. Just some tips and tricks inside of Canva, which I'm actually going to be showing you in just a second. So first, Canva allows you to lock elements, group elements. It actually has a click and drag select for all those who have experience in graphic design or Adobe, you know what I'm talking about. Rule of thirds, utilize purple guides. They have these little guides that I'm going to show you. Utilize white space, create posts that show variety. This is a biggie. And use Canva's content planner to create and post, on your social medias to just better streamline that process. All right, so let's get into Canva. Do we have any?
Faith, we do. Michelle has joined us and she has a request for you to do a demo of a brochure, and she works for a nonprofit. So if we can make it a little nonprofit-ish theme, that would be great.
All right. Can everyone see my screen okay? Is that showing up? Good. Okay. All right. So Michelle has asked to do a brochure, to do an example of a brochure. So I'm going to just jump right in. I won't edit it too much, but I'm just going to show you all the basics to save time. But all right, so so we're on the home screen. We're ready to jump in and make our brochure. So I'm going to go to my search bar. All right, and you'll see that brochure pops up, and there's lots of different options for the type of brochure that you want. Michelle, do you have a specific kind in mind, or does it matter? We have 17 by 11, we have a Z fold, bifold. I mean, there's tons of different things.
For the sake of time, can we go with the first brochure being the 11 by 8.5? That's a standard size piece of paper for those who are curious.
All right. So Michelle has a background in or works for a nonprofit. So here, as soon as we search this, we see all the templates pop up. Also on the side, this is, I'm not sure if it's new or not. I think it's rather new, but they have different themes that you can choose from. So business, marketing, travel, food, even it goes down to style and color that you can also choose from. So if you want a more specified search, we are going to look at marketing and see what pops up. All right, so as you can see, there's lots of different options. Okay, let's also try business and see where that gets us. Okay, and a lot of times, sometimes it's kind of hard to choose which one because there's so many. But just hop into one, and if you don't like it, you can hop into another one. It's no big deal. What is the name of Michelle's, if she doesn't mind? If not,
Michelle, if you don't mind, you're welcome to drop your what organization you're representing in the chat, and we can make this specific to your organization.
Or just an example if you don't want to say. But okay, so I chose this purple and peach. It's just a training brochure. It fell under the category of business. So as you can see, the elements are already pre-designed because this is a template. It already has text, it already has color elements. But, you know, if Michelle's nonprofit main colors were blue and orange, you know, she could go in here and change the colors.
Michelle dropped that she works for Case.
Case, okay, awesome. So let's see, I do believe that Case uses yellow and blue, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go in here and drop in some color. So the editing feature, let me just go over it really quick. The editor, excuse me, is very, very simple to use. You know, once you click on a template that you're ready to use, it takes you straight to the editor. So over here is kind of just our menu per se. You kind of have two menus. You have this main, I'm sorry, did not mean to click that. You have this main side menu over here, and then you have another editor menu up top. So it's super duper simple. So on your left, you will have templates. So say you get into this template and you're not happy with it. You can go to templates and find others. You can add elements. This is where you'll find icons, like social media icons. You can find shapes. You'll see so many different things within elements. They have video, they have audio, they have charts, photo frames, which these are very good to use as well if you need to place a photo. You can upload media. You can also choose the photos. Will have their pre-created stock photos in them. So very professional. All of them look very, very good. You can see that we just used a nice photo of the bridge, West Virginia. So, you know, there's so many different things that you can use. You can add text. So you can go in here, add a heading, subheading, body. They have little pre-created text icons as well. You can add a QR code. We do this a lot. You just enter the URL and you're ready to go. Say you have a website or a social media page, you can enter that URL and hit generate code and you're ready to go. And then there's some more options like audio, backgrounds, video, logos, so many different things. So many different integrations as well that you can do, but we won't get into that today. All right, so let's get to working on Michelle's brochure. So like I said, Michelle works for Case, and their colors are blue and yellow or gold, I believe. So we're gonna go in here and we're gonna change this up a little bit. So at our top, we have this color swatch. And if you click on an element and you want to change the color, you'll click on that little color swatch. If there's an image in here and you want to change the image, like add a filter or remove the background, this is a really cool feature as well. You'll go to the edit image. You can see all the things that you can do within that. You can crop, you can flip a photo, you can animate a photo. Over here, you'll have the position button. This is very, very helpful. If you've ever worked with Illustrator, you'll know what we mean by layers, but if you have not, that's okay. Everything that you put on this page, it goes down in layers. So say I add a photo, okay, that's layer 1. I add an element, that's layer 2. I add some text, that's layer 3. So everything that you lay in its order, it's on its own layer per se. So if I click this element, just to show you, and I hit to front, you see that photo was brought to the front, the very, very top layer. So just something that you can do. If you have a body of text, let's click on this text element. You go to position, you can actually, you know, center it or do lots of different stuff with that placement wise. You can change the transparency. You can lock an element. So you're done with an element. You don't want it to go anywhere else. You can hit that lock button. You can also copy very easily an element. Say I want to make multiple of this circle right here. I'm going to go up here to this top right corner, and I'm going to hit the duplicate button. And you see it made another circle. It duplicated that element. We can add a link. So say I come down here to this website and I hit the link button. I can enter in the link or the URL. So simple to use, and it might be a little bit overwhelming, but don't fret. It's very easy to learn. All right, so let's edit this just a little bit for Michelle. Okay, so we are going to, and I believe what I have selected is the photo. So actually, I am going to place a new photo. And you can see that it was using a photo element box. So we're going to go to photos, and I am going to hit, I'm going to search nonprofit. All right. So I'm just going to hit this photo. You can choose whatever. You can look through them, see what best fits you or your business. Like I said, if possible, use your own photos. So we're going to throw this in here. I am going to move the photo just a little bit so I can change that background color.
Wait, did you just drag and drop onto that photo element?
I did. Okay. Thank you, Savannah. So let me show you again how I place this photo.
I don't know if everyone else is there, but mine like glitched a second, so I saw you like hover, but then it like magically appeared.
Gotcha. Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, Canva has a drag and drop feature. So anything over here, an element of photo, text, you can actually take this photo and you can drag it over. See what I'm doing? I'm just grabbing the photo and throwing it into that box. And you can do that with any element. You can also just go in here, let me show you, and select an element and it'll just auto-populate. So you don't actually have to drag and drop it, but you can, if you want to. Okay. So let's get in here and start making this more unique to Michelle. So we are going to make this background. Let's go a little bit darker. I chose blue for case. If they do not have a color that you like, you just can hit this little add icon and you can play around with the colors. If you go on Google and you actually search in the color code, you can do that, or you can just, drag and drop this and get to the color type that you want. And then you can play around with this little circle and get it to that color swatch that you want. Okay, so now that we have that blue in there, I'm going to change this box to that same blue. So it's very, very simple to edit. You simply just click on the element that you want to edit, and then you just, change the color, change the text. We're going to change this to that blue. All right, we're going to change the purple to a yellow or a white. Let's do white. You can also click multiple elements at one time. So what I just did there, I clicked this circle and I hit shift. If you hit the shift key, it will actually select both at the same time. So you can change that color at the same time, like I just did. All right. So let's change this to that blue. We're going to change the purple to a yellow or a gold. All right. We are going to change the title. Editing text is super simple. You just click on the text and then it will bring up the text editor. You'll be able to change fonts. You'll be able to change the size, bold, italicize, has different effects you can do, but for the sake of time, we're just going to leave it like this. We're going to change this to say, we are case. I'm not going to go in and edit everything just for the sake of time. But we can go in here, we can edit this address, we can edit the phone number, we can edit the website. And then you can do the exact same thing for down here. You can edit each of these colors. You can edit the text. Instead of about Castillo, it could say about Case, West Virginia. You could have the website, just, different facts about Case. Let's see, anything else that you all would like me to cover just inside the editor? I won't have time to do another example, but any other questions?
Faith, can you cover how someone would actually print this brochure?
Sure. So if you were to print the brochure, you would download it, and downloading it is super duper simple. You go up here and you will hit this little download button, and these little suggestions will come up how you want to save it, the file type. You have PNG, you have JPEG, PDF standard. If you're exporting a video, you would export it to MP4 video. But for printing purposes, we would do PDF print. You could do crop marks and bleed if you would like, if you're sending it off to an actual printing company. And then you would just hit download. And if you're printing it off, say at work, you could just download it to your laptop and print it off that way. Or, if you're sending it off to another company, you could also do it that way. Is there anything I didn't cover? Any other questions?
I would just like to say for those watching us, when you go to download that brochure, as long as you print it and print on both sides, the brochure should print correctly.
Right.
As a trifold brochure.
Yeah, you would have to print on both sides. That's a good note.
Michelle does have another question, and she asked about inputting a video. And can we cover maybe what type of file you would use? I understand that you wouldn't want to input a video in a brochure, but perhaps it's something else where you would need to input a video, and how would you do so?
So putting in a video, you would just save the video to your desktop, laptop. There's different editing video tools. Say we export from Premiere. That's what you export from, Premiere, to do videos. But if you're just doing like a video on your iPhone, you can email it to yourself and save it to your laptop, desktop. Then you're just going to come in here and go to uploads. And then you're just going to hit upload media, and then you'll be able to upload that video to there. So, all right, you guys. So that is all we have time to cover for today. Like Jim said earlier, join us October 5th for our next class. It's going into business first steps. If anyone has any other side questions about this, feel free to email us. Savannah will be emailing you all with this slide deck. I'm going to pull this up really quick for you all to have. Be sure to scan this QR code or take our survey at the link. This just enables us to know how we can better serve you and what you all want to see, what you all want to learn. So thank you all so much for joining us today, for taking time out of your day to be with us this morning. So we hope you all have a great week.